pickup lines, do they work? Well, if your intent is right, it might work. Even though that pickup line can be sort of cheesy, if your intent is just to get inside the door, to get a normal conversation with that beautiful woman, that attractive woman that you want, then the pickup line is okay to break the ice. All right? It's not easy to break the ice. It's actually very, very hard. And if someone thinks that they can just see a beautiful woman and go up to her and start a conversation without any type of preparation, then they are wrong, because the vast majority of guys do have to have some kind of preparation to be able to do that. It's a different thing if you've done it a lot. Then you might be able to have the competence to actually go up and just start with anything. But for a guy who never really approached before, need preparation, need something to, just open up with, the icebreaker. And there are different levels of how to open up with a woman. But I've seen many times when guys open up with things that I'm not really a big fan on. But once he open up, he goes straight into a normal conversation, and it went really, really well, really, really fine. So it changed my mind in terms of whatever makes you feel comfortable to open up with something, just to get inside the door, then just do it. Because just be able to break the ice with a beautiful woman that you find attractive is so hard that you just need to find your own comfortable way of doing so. I've seen many times when people have tried to use a more natural opening style, and they just fumble away the whole approach, and they cannot really get away with just fumble away things. And then as soon as they get into a very solid scripted based opener to break the ice, it solves. He can just go up and he can really open. Whatever happened later on is a different story, but he could open with a pickup line. And if I would give a pickup line for someone who see the whole interaction as a pickup, meaning that it's not only the first part, the opening icebreaker part is going to be the scripted game, so to speak, but the whole interaction would be routine based scripted game approach, then he will most likely fail. In general, guys fails when they're doing the whole interaction instrumental with the goal to build relationship. That is just not going to work long term. And frankly, it doesn't work on women that have been interacting with many guys in the past. Women that are universally attractive, they will see that right through, that this guy is not congruent, he's just not really present, and there's something off about him. They will feel like that directly if you are a person that's just going to make a performance for the whole interaction. So the pickup line will also be a different delivery for a guy who will continue doing the pickup stuff. It will come off as a different type of incongruence, because he start already with a scripted game that is going to be from the start till the end. But if I would give that pickup line to someone who just want to get inside the door, and once he is inside the door, he just open up and have a normal, genuine conversation that is based on connection, meaning that he is interested in her life, so he asks about it, he want to listen to what she has to say and so on, then the pickup line could be really, really fine to just open and break the ice. So that is a very, very different thing, very different. And what I have seen is that whatever you open up with doesn't really matter if you can maintain a normal conversation afterwards. A conversation that is based on emotional connection elements to build emotional connection that in turn spark attraction, then it doesn't really matter what you open with. She's not really going to remember what you open with, because she's going to be so into having a genuine, real conversation with you that whatever you open up with sort of have a little value, because that was just something that happened, and now we have a conversation where I feel something, and when she feels something, that is the only part that actually matters. You see, the opening part, not so important. I remember one time when I opened up with, beautiful women. It was specifically one that I feel was like a 10 out of 10, if I would say so. I went up and said, "Excuse me, I know this is spontaneous, but I saw you over there, and I saw you walking with your friend to this table, and I just had to come and say hi because I think you look really nice. I'm Michael. What's your name?" And then she was like a little bit taken, and she had in her mind afterwards, she told me that he's probably just a guy who just wants one thing, meaning like I just want to sleep with her and I just see her as a sexual object or whatever. But then after that point, I just started to have this normal conversation that is based on understanding, the emotional connection. And then afterwards, we had contact and we spoke a lot. And she told me that in the beginning, she thought that I was one of those guys that was just looking for one thing. But then after a couple of minutes, she changed her mind and thought that I was a really nice guy, a really, good guy to talk with, a good guy that made her feel good. And that is the point, right? So whatever I open with, even though she had that negative mindset in the beginning after my initial opener, she just changed. And then now she was very happy that I approached because she really liked me and the way I'm doing things, and she liked our relationship. So everything turned out to be really great. So I just want to emphasize here that the opening part is not that important. Just use what you are really comfortable with. Because if you can open with anything that is not completely out of order, like, "Excuse me, I just want to say one thing. I want to sleep with you directly." I mean, that would not work, right? But as long as it's not really that extreme, whatever you open with could really work if your intent is to have a normal conversation afterwards. All right? As long as you can open, bravo, our applause, because it's so hard to open up, especially if you haven't done it so much in the future, in the past, I mean. So if you want to learn how to actually have a normal, great conversation that builds emotional connection, make sure to get access to my free video training. I made it for you so you can actually start doing things right. You can find the link in the description. And if you find that this video gave you some value, click on the like button and subscribe if you want to subscribe. I hope to see you in the next video.